my name is Phil Naylor. I'm a psychotherapist. I have degrees in psychology and social psychology. As well as that, I'm a parent, I'm a grandparent, I'm a lover of nature and a person of spirit. By that, I mean, I take a spiritual viewpoint and orientation to the world. So this is my channel, and why am I creating this channel? And why now? So right now, what's motivating me is not just to be, I don't want to just be the psychotherapist guy on this channel, but I'm doing this because I believe that we're at a time of multiple crises. Some people say meta-crisis. We're experiencing a meta-crisis in the world. So everything's changing and really quickly and in a way it never has before, technologically, culturally, environmentally, politically, institutionally. We have noticed some of our institutions are kind of not doing so well. And this is worldwide. It's not just isolated to a particular geographic region. So we've never been in a place like this before. And we're at a crossroads of choice about what our world and future are going to look like. And I believe at this time that we need everyone's involvement, pulling together to help bring about and help birth a creative and positive new world. All voices and viewpoints are needed, and you're needed. And contrary to the popular or maybe perhaps self-interested view, this isn't time, it's not the time to just leave it up to the experts, the technocrats, the politicians, corporations, and billionaires to sort out things according to their visions. I believe that, like I say, we need all hands on deck. Everyone's input is needed in order to make this a better place. So that means that we all need to become responsible, not only for ourselves, but for shaping and influencing the world and what it will become and where it's going. We can't just kind of passively sit by, or we'll have no control or input about what that happens. So rather than kind of leaving it over to a delegated few, we all need to participate in this very unique and important time right now. So how do I propose to help do this? And it's just my little way, it's my little corner of the world and my little particular expertise is to try and use that to help people to increase their awareness and to expand their consciousness, both of this world around us and of our own selves. So you can't change what you're not aware of, or can't change what you don't acknowledge. And we need to start with a knowledge of ourselves. And so I believe that's important, that we learn something that really not taught anywhere in school. We need to learn about how we work psychologically. How do our minds work? What are our social beings, and how are we constructed? And we also need tools for change and health. So as we also need to know how we work, that we live in a social world. And so we are also influenced directly socially. We're social creatures. And as such, we are influenced and shaped socially as well. We're not just kind of individual isolated beings living in a vacuum. We live with other people, and there's, direct interaction with other people. There's, institutions that we interact with, schools, workplaces, all that kind of stuff. And there's also bigger societal things that are going on in the world that influences. So we're highly influenceable, and we're actually highly trainable. So we're actually no different than any other animal. We can be trained and use the very similar training techniques as dogs and horses or anything else. So we are trainable, and that can work to our advantage, because training can take people to incredible levels of ability and knowledge. You can also be influenced and trained in ways that we don't know, I don't realize. I mean, simple examples are like social media and how we're being influenced, and very deliberately through social media, and also things like advertising. So those are a couple of just examples of how we are influenced and deliberately outside of our knowledge. But we're often not knowledgeable. We don't realize or understand how these things are happening. But it's important that we do that, because if we don't take charge of ourselves, somebody else will. And so we need to make conscious choices about the influence we are exposed to, and be able to manage those influences. And finally, we can't separate ourselves from the world within. We're embedded in the social world, and the social world's embedded in the natural world. And everything that we see and around us that is made, even the most sophisticated modern material or instrument, is pulled directly from the earth. It's made from the earth. We're made from the earth. So we're inseparable. Everything's inseparable from the earth. And so we're embedded in that natural world, and we depend fully on nature for everything, every single thing. There's nothing we don't depend on nature. And we're in fact part of nature, and we're not separate from it. So it's not nature out there and us over here. We're part of that. But how we work and interact with that makes a big difference to how the whole world functions. We're set in an ecosystem, and we're part of all the other creatures and systems of life within the planet. And so we need to understand and develop our relationship with nature. Nature is life. It's full of life. As a matter of fact, the common indigenous belief is that the world is actually a living being, and that we need to tend and care for the earth and each other and the beings within it in order for us to live and thrive and be healthy and live well. And so there's a call for a spiritual view of our relationship to the earth and to everything. So what this channel is about is, just to summarize, is to help give us a sense of personal value and importance, to empower ourselves and each other, to have a sense of that we're important in the development of this world, and you particularly are important, and to develop a sense of responsibility for the world and for ourselves, and that we just don't leave it to others. We're all called to come to be responsible for everything in our own world that we inhabit. And secondly, to raise awareness and consciousness of ourselves and how we work psychologically and socially. And third, to understand how we can work in relation to the larger social system around us, and to understand how that works and how it influences us, and maybe how we can influence it. And fourth, to understand and develop our relationship to the earth and all the life within it, and to develop finally a spiritual connection and perspective about all of this. And so I believe these are the building blocks to a better world. And this is, one way that I can, step forward and take some responsibility myself and share what I have, and hopefully encourage everybody to share what they have. Doesn't matter what you do or who you are. If you're an artist or a baker or whatever, you have something to offer this world. So I hope you'll enjoy me in this channel and enjoy what I have to offer. And looking for your feedback, and please give me a like or a comment on any of this. And I'm looking forward to sharing more and more information about all these things as we go along.